there, everyone. Zantok here with Select Star Gaming, and welcome to another episode here of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. Continuing on from the stream archive footage that I played a while back, but let's go ahead and kick it off to Past Me, who's going to be continuing through the game. Take it away. The speaker went silent and did not speak again.
Hey, you bastard! What do you mean by that? Come out here, you asshole!
That guy won't stop shouting. And the others.
Thrilling dialogue right there, everyone. Thank you so much for that important scene of you all just saying ... Junpei too was consumed by his thoughts.
I have way too many questions.
Oh yeah, I figured I would whale trip, but not just yet.
Who is Zero? What's the Nonary Game? What's it for?
Well, Zero is actually a Reploid, and he fights other robots, because he's also a robot. And yeah, that's the story of Mega Man.
Is he some nutjob just doing this to mess with us, or does he have some other purpose?
Oh. Actually, hey, way out trail, if you haven't left yet, you should go ahead and try out the new host alert that I put up before you leave. You know, just in case anybody pops in on your stream.
Why pick me to be part of this insane game? And the others? Why are these 8 people here? And the most confusing of them all. Why is Akane here? I haven't seen her since elementary school.
Zero is 5 very small dogs in a trench coat. You know what? I have no evidence to tell me otherwise, so I believe it.
Why her? Why now? Coincidence? No. There's no way. There has to be a reason. I don't know what exactly, but there has to be.
Very well.
The lion's voice seemed oddly loud in the silence.
Standing around here won't do us any good. Best we get moving, don't you think?
He's starting to sound familiar too, but I'm not quite sure from what.
Get moving?
Are you planning to open the numbered doors?
Hey, wait! But don't tell me you're actually gonna do what this Zero says.
I mean, it's either that or we die in 9 hours. What the fuck do you people want?
No, that's not what I mean.
The lion shook his head, mildly annoyed.
I'm saying let's find another way. After all, we haven't really examined this place yet.
What?
Where have we not looked? Everyone searched A-Deck already, right?
Yeah, we were kind of in a rush though, so we probably missed some things.
Fair.
Why don't we check out the lower floors first? We should see how deep this place goes.
I can work with that.
Wall heart from Awakening? Okay. How did they pack a Kirby's alone into a rope and gas mask? I mean, dark matter can change its shape, so that would make sense.
Then let's go.
Whoa! What the hell? It's completely submerged.
Damn. If the water level keeps rising like this, we're all gonna drown.
No, I don't believe that's something we have to worry about.
The prince knelt down and gently drew his hand across it.
See? The water's not flowing. That means the origin of the water has been stopped. Perhaps this Zero fellow has used some sort of remote control to seal a watertight door lower down.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. That was my bad.
He
I
said
kind
that our
of did
time
that.
limit was 9 hours. In other words, this water won't rise for 9 hours.
And you're saying we won't sink till then?
Well, that may be a little too optimistic. No point to wishful thinking.
That's depressing.
If we don't determine a way to advance from this point, we are stuck on A-Deck and C-Deck.
Looks that way.
Hey, hold on. How about we check C-Deck before we jump to any conclusions? We might find something there.
Huh, you're right. I think we should look at the metal doors by the big staircase, too. They're pretty suspicious.
No numbers on either door. And I don't see an authentication device either. Nope. It's locked.
This one too. Damn, none of the doors are opening.
Hey guys, over here. There's another door behind the stairs.
This one doesn't open either.
We'll see about that. Hey, old man, give me a hand.
Using force, I see. Let's give it a try.
Calm down.
It won't budge.
Could you not just start shouting out of nowhere? You almost gave me a heart attack, you know.
Oh, sorry.
It doesn't appear to have moved even with two of us trying. It's very well made.
Idiots. Try using your brain first.
Huh?
Take a closer look.
A keyhole?
Right. It's obvious what we need to open this door.
A key, huh?
You got a problem?
No, I just really doubt we'll find a key that easily.
Maybe if we check a numbered door. Ignore the tense air between the two. Junpei moved closer to examine the doorknob.
What's this?
Just above it was a strange mark in the shape of a circle surrounding a dot. I was going to call it an eyeball, but alright.
There's a mark on it. Does it mean something?
Hey, look! Over here, too!
Hmm?
Pink Hair was looking at double doors they hadn't examined yet.
More doors.
I think they're elevators.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
There's an inverted triangle button by them.
May as well try pressing it. Huh. Nothing.
Maybe the power isn't on.
Or we need to do something with this card reader. And there's a strange mark here, too. What is this? It looks like a lowercase h with a dash drawn across the upper stem of the h.
Okay. Junpei stared at it for a while.
This is the symbol of Saturn.
Okay, I was thinking it was one of the planetary symbols, just I wasn't sure. Because I remember seeing them a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories.
It's an astrological symbol.
Then the mark on the other door.
I think that was the sun symbol.
Yeah, okay, alright.
We saw the same symbols on A deck.
The same two or just similar?
We did?
I don't remember that.
A deck, huh? I haven't been there, so I wouldn't know.
We may as well check again since we're talking about it.
Lion's words urged them on, and they took the stairs up. Can we please share our names, people?
There, the two doors next to the stairs. The one on the left had a keyhole with a similar symbol engraved on it.
She's right. It looks similar to what we saw downstairs.
This is an Earth symbol. The horizontal line symbolizes the equator, and the vertical one represents the prime meridian.
I see.
Junpei looked up at the ceiling.
The ceiling. Metal plates. Huh. It's as if it's covering something up.
Totally never seen that before.
Perhaps it was a dome of some kind.
I wish we could get out through there.
Be realistic. We'd need a lot of explosives to open that up.
The windows, too. Huh. They're all covered.
That's very familiar. There were several windows along both sides of the ship, or at least there had been. They too were covered with metal plates.
In other words,
Because Akane is the ultimate planet person.
we're trapped. All the exits go nowhere.
Junpei was not happy. The girl with pink hair spoke up.
Well, I'm sure they go somewhere. We just can't open them.
Then the mountain spoke.
You don't know that. For all we know, they just open into walls or take us in circles.
The prince did not agree.
No, I'm sure they go somewhere. Otherwise, what point would there be? And we can open them. Well, two of them at least.
Oh, you mean the numbered doors.
All eyes turned toward the doors with numbers on them. The atmosphere in the room grew tense.
Hey, wait a minute.
It's been a few already.
I think I said this earlier, but I don't think we should do that.
The dancer moved in front of the doors, as if to block them.
We'd have to be crazy to open these doors. If we do that, we're doing exactly what Zero wants us to do.
Suddenly, everyone began to speak at once.
May as well give it a shot. Can't stay here forever.
Yes, I'm in favor as well.
No, I'm totally against this.
But shouldn't we at least try?
We don't know what'll happen. We should stay here.
There's always somebody like this in any scenarios that we get like this in games, movies, or whatever. There's always one person just like, no, we can't do that because that's what they want. It's like, okay, I hear you, and you're not entirely wrong, but if we do nothing, we die. I'd rather do something and die than do nothing and die.
We don't have time for that. In 8.5 hours, this ship is going to sink.
It's already been 30 minutes? Shit! The clamor of voices made it next to impossible to determine who was saying what. Their arguments grew more and more intense until people were shouting and screaming at one another.
Hey, shut up!
They fell silent, and all eyes turned to Junpei. He felt each stare burning into him, but he refused to
Before we
flinch.
try and decide where we're going to go, there's something else we ought to do.
Eat.
What's that?
We need to exchange information. We don't know anything about
Thank
each
God.
other. I want to know who you guys are. Who you are, where you came from, why you ended up here. Don't tell me you aren't curious too.
They were silent. Some of them looked the other way, or bit their lip, or crossed their arms and stared at the ceiling. But one of them spoke up. It was Akane.
I agree. I think Junpei is right.
Don't call me that, please. Please do not call me Junpei.
Jumpy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him. I just call him Junpei. His name is Junpei.
She pointed towards Junpei, and where now they are no longer going to trust me because I know a person.
We're childhood friends. We went to the same elementary school.
Wait, stop. Don't tell us stuff we didn't ask you about. Zero's probably watching us right now. What are you gonna do if he's listening in?
Nothing.
Oh, would that be bad?
Hell yeah, it would! We don't know how much that bastard knows about us.
I think it's too late for that.
Maybe he just picked a bunch of random people to kidnap. If that is the case, then it'd be dangerous for us to let him know too much. If Zero knows who we are, he could go after our families.
Okay. I get what you're saying, dude. But if he was able to kidnap us, like, at least for our character here, he would have had to figure out where we live, figured out when we'd be getting home, probably had to be watching us for at least a week to make sure that we have our good schedule so we can know when to follow us and ambush us. I think he knows everything there is to know about us already. We don't need to just be hiding anything here. Maybe chill. It's like people who are like, oh no, I'm worried about Facebook and Google having my information. It's too late. You already gave it up.
Maybe he'd tell us he had them to get us to do stuff, you know?
But we still need to know what our names are.
A friend of mine also streamed this, and he gave Mountain a great nickname, the toughest guy in the tuna boat. I mean, he does look like that he worked on a boat at some point, like either like a fishing boat or an oil tanker or something. He definitely looks like he worked in the boat industry.
It's going to be hard to talk to each other if we don't have names.
Alright, then why don't we have code names?
Fine, but I'm not Junpei. To him, apparently, it seemed like the obvious solution.
Code names?
Yeah, we'll each pick something. Like, I'll be 7.
Are we just gonna call each other our numbers? That's a boring code name.
7? Why are you 7?
It seemed a fair question. The mountain stuck at his left arm.
Because this bracelet number says 7.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
He smirked.
All right, I'm gonna be Santa.
I thought we were going with numbers! Santa!
Any of you chumps know Japanese? No?
No.
Well, san means 3. So, I'll be Santa. You know, like Santa Claus. Fits, don't you think?
Alright.
Then your bracelet number.
Yeah, it's got a 3 on it. Good job, Grandpa.
Just like the mountain had done, Silver thrust out his left hand. Sure enough, the face of his bracelet read 3. Any of you Japanese characters in a Japanese produced game know Japanese? I'm just gonna assume that's the localization.
Very well then. I'll go next, shall I? My bracelet number is 1.
So are you what? Are you gonna be first? Solo? Original?
Given that, I think Ace seems appropriate.
Alright, Ace isn't bad. I'm good with that.
I'll be Lotus then. As I'm sure you all know, it has 8 petals.
Didn't. But okay, it's better than calling you Dancer.
Which means, of course, that my bracelet number is 8.
I would appreciate it if you would call me Snake.
Are you 2 for Snake Eyes?
My
Hey!
bracelet number is 2. Since Ace has chosen cards, then I choose dice. Snake Eyes, clearly. Which is particularly relevant given that I'm blind.
Oh shit! Okay.
You can't see?
I knew it.
He kept his eyes closed during their entire ordeal, which he had suggested something strange, but they were said so casually. I mean, I don't think it was a surprise. Everyone seemed a little nervous at the prince's proclamation, but no one seemed to know how to react to it.
Me next.
There was one person, however, who didn't seem to be surprised in the least. The girl with pink
I
hair.
want to be Clover.
Because you're number 4.
You know, like a 4-leaf clover. Good luck, right?
Looking almost bored, she held out her left hand. The face of her bracelet showed the number 4. They come around to Junpei. He held his bracelet.
Alright, my number's 5.
Eat your hamburgers, Paul. Yeah.
So my code name is gonna be...
Why have one? It's not like there's any point to it now.
Oh, for the fun of it, asshole! The dancer cut him off in
I
mid-sentence.
mean, we all know your name already. You're Junpei.
Oh,
They all nodded. Akane stepped forward nervously.
Then you should all call me by my name too. Because, I mean, it doesn't seem...
It doesn't seem fair to Junpei.
You're thinking it's not cool for you to hide your name after you told us his.
Akane fidgeted awkwardly. Junpei decided he had to do
what's your
something.
bracelet number?
It's 6.
She hesitated for a moment, then held out her left hand. As she'd claimed, the bracelet's face showed a 6. Junpei looked at it for a moment and thought,
Alright then, why don't we call you June?
really? June and Junpei? Seriously?
June?
Why don't you just make me be 6 and have that be my code name? That would have been easier.
Yeah, you know, it's the 6th month of the year. So you're June.
Jumpy?
Don't comment that. Akane kneaded her hands and looked up at Junpei, uncertain. He smiled back at her,
Are
reassuringly.
you good with that?
Yeah.
She thought about it for a few more minutes, then seemed to come to a decision and gave Junpei a small nod.
Okay then.
Their names decided. Junpei ran over them quickly in his
So
head.
this is how everyone breaks down. 1 is Ace. 2 is Snake. 3 is Santa.
I swear, something about this design is very familiar to me, and I'm not too sure why. I don't know what it is.
4 is Clover. 5 is me. 6 is June. 7 is 7.
Brilliant.
And 8 is Lotus.
Okay, where's 9?
That means 8 of us have revealed our bracelet numbers. The only one left is...
Oh yeah, I forgot you existed. Jesus.
You haven't said a thing so far, have you?
His skin was pale, his breathing was heavy, and he was soaked with nervous sweat. His behavior seemed very suspicious, or perhaps simply emotionally unstable. It was difficult to tell. Whatever the case, it seemed clear that he had only a fingertip's worth of a grip on his sanity. I feel that. The girl with pink hair, Clover, walked up to him slowly. She put her hands on her hips and eyed him suspiciously.
What number are you?
I think you can figure that out. He didn't answer. His bloodshot eyes twitched from person to person, and his breath came in hot pants.
Hey, I'm talking to you.
The man licked his dry lips with a shaking tongue and spoke with a voice like an old paper.
Isn't it obvious? There are 9 people here, and you know who numbers 1 through 8 are. I'm the only one left.
So you're 9?
Yeah.
He extended a trembling arm. The bracelet did indeed say 9. Clover looked at it contemptuously.
What's your code name?
Code name?
Were you not... Listen... Alright, well, if that leaves there's one person who's not going to refer to me as Junpei.
What do you want us to call you? We all made up names. You should too.
I don't need one.
Why not?
Because I am not gonna stay here with you.
He took a shuddering breath and exhaled. Clover looked at him with something very like disgust.
You've got some sort of plan?
I do.
Really?
Yeah? What's that?
You sure you want to know?
Yeah?
All right, let me show you. I'm gonna do this!
By the time they realized what he was doing, it was too late to stop him. The man's body moved like a snake's. In the blink of an eye, he had slid around behind her and wrapped his arm around her waist.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Silver, Santa, leapt forward towards Clover and the 9th man. He was halfway there
Stay
when...
back.
Suddenly, the man's hand dove into his pocket.
Ah.
And he has a knife, apparently. He held it to Clover's pale, quivering neck.
If you get any closer, I'll cut her open. Yeah, that's right.
The man's smile was neither friendly nor reassuring. Sweat poured down his neck, soaking the collar of his shirt.
Clover, are you all right?
The prince, a snake's voice, sounded oddly concerned.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Her voice shook, making her words even less convincing.
What the hell are you trying to do? I told you. This is my plan.
What are you gonna do to her, you sick son of a bitch?
Shitty plan.
Don't worry.
Do you really think
I'm gonna do anything to her.
that the kidnapper gives a fuck?
If she just does what I tell her to, I'll let her go.
He started to move backward, slowly, keeping his grip on Clover.
Slowly. That's right. Just follow me.
Keeping their distance, Junpei and the others followed. Eventually, the man reached the wall. He gave a start as his back touched it, then glanced around quickly and spoke.
Here. Verify.
I wondered about that, because he's 9, so he can very easily hit a number.
The left. Look on your left. Do you see the device on the wall? Place your hand on the scanner panel, the round part.
What if I don't?
The man's nostrils flared, and he looked as if he was about to choke.
Are you an idiot? What do you think? I could slit your throat right now.
Okay, and then what are you gonna do? You will be rushed and killed with your own knife. This is a terrible plan.
I'll kill you if I have to. All I need is your bracelet. Just do it. Do it now.
He pressed the knife against Clover's neck hard.
Okay, I'll do it.
Slowly, she stretched her left hand out toward the device.
Like this?
Her back was to it, and she had to feel around for a moment before she found the circular panel. It made a cold electronic noise. With the display above her hand, an asterisk appeared.
So that's how it works. He called that round part of the device the scanner panel. If we put our left hand on it, our bracelet number gets entered into the device.
Again, why do we have an electronic distortion on our voice when we're thinking to ourselves? That's an odd choice.
Then,
Should you total the numbers on your numbered bracelets?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This guy gonna die. When they were just like, I don't need a codename. My immediate thought was, because you're gonna die first? Is that why?
And find that the digital root of that number is equal to the number of that door, the door will open.
Maybe Junpei's the robot. Well, I mean, I guess this could be like Battlestar. Junpei shifted his eyes to the door itself. You always have a secret robot. The number on it was 5.
Door 5. But why does this guy know so much about how this thing works? It's like he knows exactly what to do.
Good.
Well,
You're done.
the guy did say some of you know what this game is, so I guess we know who at least one of those people
Next.
are. His bloodshot eyes crept from person to person until finally, they stopped in the lion. Ace.
You, right? You're the one with the number 1 bracelet, right?
Yes, I am. So?
Then you're next. Just verify your number like this little brat did. What are you doing? Do it! Don't you care what happens to her?
Okay, just calm down.
Ace up his hands, palms out. The 9th man jerked his chin toward the
I'm
device.
coming over.
Slowly, cautiously, Ace moved toward the device. After what seemed like an agonizing eternity, he reached it.
Now, verify.
All right, this is what you wanted, right?
Ace nodded and placed his hands on the scanner panel. The device beeped again, and a second asterisk appeared.
Now the device has both Clover and Ace's numbers, 4 and 1. 4 plus 1 is 5. It's the same as the number written on the door. But it won't open yet.
Only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door.
One more person. If what Zero said is true, he needs one more person. Who? Who does he need?
Himself.
Get back.
His voice shook. The knife he held to Clover's throat and made his words a command. Ace took 2, then 3 steps back.
No! Farther! More than that! Go all the way back!
Okay.
Slowly, Ace did what he was told. The 9th man's lips turned and curled into a cruel, twisted smile.
Don't tell me.
That was when Junpei understood his plan.
Clover's 4 and Ace's 1. Added to the 9th man's 9. 4 plus 1 plus 9 is 14. And the digital root of 14, 1 plus 4, is 5. In other words...
Thank God you were all so cooperative. Now I can get out of this nightmare.
He pressed his own hand against the scanner panel. A third asterisk appeared on the screen. He dropped his hand to the lever on the side of the device and pulled. The door opened with a heavy metallic groan.
Good! I don't need you anymore.
He let go of Clover. Junpei leapt towards the 9th man, but he wasn't fast
Here.
enough.
She's all yours.
The man shoved Clover and hopped through the door.
Okay. Have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then, goodbye.
He raised his hand and waved, a twisted smirk on his face. Then, he was gone. The door ground shut with a dull clang of metal on metal.
Clover, are you all right?
Snake ran to Clover's side as she ran on the floor. Lay on the floor. Dude, you're blind.
Yeah, I'm fine.
She climbed unsteadily to her feet, and once there, leaned heavily on Snake's shoulder for support.
Damn it!
Junpei ran to the door.
Bastard!
The others followed him. Several pairs of hands grabbed hold of the handles and pulled. Makes you think of Resident Evil 1's door openings animations? I've actually been recently watching Resident Evil for the first time. Just trying to finally get some knowledge on the series, so... I kind of like I don't... The forced door perspective, or the forced room perspectives in the survival horror, I would be terrible at. But I do kind of like how they do the animations to open the doors in different loading zones. It's a cool idea.
Open, damn it!
They grunted and strained, but...
Shit! It won't budge.
That was when Lotus, the dancer, or not the dancer, spoke. Her voice is quiet.
Do you hear something?
No, actually, I don't.
Like, what?
Like some sort of beeping.
Junpei presses the ear against the cold metal of the door. The others did the same.
You're right. I can hear it too.
What is it?
Then they heard something else. It was the ninth man. Is he dying?
Why isn't it stopping? God damn it!
Did he not pay attention when the rules... I'm pretty sure what the rules were saying was like, anybody that opens the door all has to go through the door, and so the guy just fucked himself. I'm pretty sure is what's just going on here.
You lied!
No, you didn't read the instructions.
Lied?
This wasn't supposed to happen! This is wrong! This is wrong!
His voice shook with fear. Safe on the outside, they stepped back from the door and looked at one another.
What is happening in there?
Open the door, please! I'm begging you!
Sorry, no can do.
Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here!
Ugh, God damn it!
Junpei grabbed hold of the device. He slammed his hand on the scanner panel. Nothing happened.
Why? Why won't it work? Engaged?
Because...
Is it because it's occupied?
Oh my god! There's no time left!
Listen, you fucked around.
Listen!
Shouldn't have done
I
that.
was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him!
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Listen, you put a knife to the other person's throat, you lose all sympathy from me. The explosion rocked the room. Instinctively, they ducked, then stood up slowly when they realized there was no danger. No one spoke. Silence filled the room.
A beep?
All eyes turned towards it.
Did that thing just make that sound?
Correct.
The display changed from engaged to vacant.
Let's see if we can open it.
7. The mountain. Swallowed hard.
Okay.
Junpei nodded and placed his hand on the scanner panel. A red asterisk appeared on the LCD panel.
Well, it registered my bracelet number. But it won't open with one person. We need at least 2 more people.
What to do? Okay, cool. So I figured it was going to make me, like, math it out myself on who to have join me. But it's not. But it is going to tell me who they are. So that's actually helpful. So I can choose who's going to go in here with me, which I was really hoping I'll get to do. First of all, Lotus can go fuck herself. Don't like Lotus. Ace is alright. Nobody else do I have an issue with, other than 7 is a bit of a meathead. We're going to go with Santa and June.
Santa and, June, you think you could give me a hand here?
The pun was a little too on the nose, but the mood was still grim. Both Santa and June lifted their left hands silently. He verified, and she followed suit.
5 plus 3 plus 6 is 14. The digital root of 14, 1 plus 4 equals 5. This should do it. Now we just need to pull the lever on the side.
You guys ready? I'm gonna open it.
Junpei grabbed the lever and looked back over his shoulder. They stiffened and nodded. Junpei nodded back and set his mouth in a grim line. Then he slowly lowered the lever. There was a metallic groan, and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth.
Oh my god.
Good God.
I'm assuming his head blew off? Lotus and Ace shuddered. 7 grunted.
Whoa, that's pretty bad.
Even Santa's voice shook.
He blew up.
It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. Whoa. The shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her, and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door groaned shut. She crumpled to the floor.
June, are you okay?
Junpei dropped to his knees and put his arm around her shoulders. That was when he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense heat.
What the hell? Where'd this fever come from?
June didn't answer. Her face looked like wax, and her whole body began to shake.
Okay, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk?
She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet and guided her to a nearby chair.
Here we go.
As gently as he could, he set her down at it.
How are you feeling? Are you all right?
She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down the side of her face.
Why did this happen?
Her voice cracked, broken by misery and grief and choked by sobs.
Why did this happen?
Junpei spun around.
Do any of you know what the fuck is going on here? Who's Zero? What's this Nonary game? Come on! Anybody? Anything? What the hell is going on? What are we doing here?
No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, 7, and Lotus. They simply stood there. 7 pairs of downcast eyes and 7 grim lines for mouths. June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by, and eventually they stopped. Then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that had enveloped them like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. The clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then on the 10th ring, it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence.
It's 10 o'clock then.
Ace said what each one of them had been thinking.
That means it's been an hour since Zero's little announcement.
7's deep voice echoed across the room.
Fuck! I've had enough of this crap!
Santa leapt to his feet, his fists clenched.
How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero is going on about is up. Let's get going already! Go! Go!
Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their faces tired. Finally, Lotus spoke.
No, I refuse. I'm not gonna end up like him.
Him? You mean the 9th man?
Of course, who else?
In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again.
Blood. Oh. Blood and pieces of flesh.
The dark, reddish, black pool of blood. You see, other games tell me that blood is pink, so I don't know what the fuck they think this is. That's clearly not blood. That's like ink from a pen. The scattered pieces of flesh, organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful.
That's no way for a person to die.
The 9th man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Junpei suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half of his face was crushed, and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied, either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back, and stark white ribs jutted up out of his chest, like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. Junpei felt something flip in his stomach. It was
think I
fish
just
he had for dinner
screwed
last
up.
night. Eyebrows went up and Santa continued.
He probably set off some sort of trap, and that killed him. I'm not gonna screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive.
Bold. Very bold. Whatever Sneak was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous.
What's so goddamn funny?
Oh, my apologies. You were just, so very confident. I couldn't help myself.
What the fuck?
You know, something I'm very curious about. Assuming that every character had their own escape room that they had to get out of in order to meet up with everybody, I want to know what Snake's room was like. Because they had to come up with some very specific kind of puzzles for a blind man to be able to escape a room. I want to know what that was.
I think you've mistaken the situation.
Huh?
The ninth man's death. It had nothing to do with the trap. Or at least, not the sort of trap you imagine it did.
Then?
He broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it.
That's what I've been fucking saying.
You still don't... All right. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said?
Snakes. Empty room with a single button on one of the walls. Find the button. You have 3 minutes.
Specifically, what did he say about the number of people?
But here's the trick. Everything on the wall except for the button is bubble wrap. So it all feels like a button.
He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door. Right?
And after that? You've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say?
Santa furrowed his brow in thought. Junpei thought back as well. Zero said that everyone who verified had to go. Well, then what about... Nobody went through the last time. So that part kind of threw me off when none of us went through, because I thought the 3 of us were going to go through, and everybody else would be left behind wondering what the fuck happened to us. But...
All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute, right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go through.
That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei.
Aw, thanks. Snake inclined his head toward Junpei.
The ninth man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed.
And Zero's watching us from somewhere, making sure we don't break any rules.
Oh, I'm not so sure of that.
Why not?
Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice?
How could we?
There's no need for him to monitor us.
What do you mean?
Snake looked at the 7 with what could only be described as pity and sighed.
Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I had hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but... that seems increasingly unlikely.
He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When Ace spoke, he gave words to everyone else's thoughts.
Do you know something?
Well, I know a great many things, but yes.
What is it you know?
Here.
Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket.
Card? What does it say?
See for yourself.
Because he can't. With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke.
Come on now, what's the point of giving me this?
Give me that.
Santa snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion.
Huh? The hell is this?
7 tugged it out of Santa's hands.
I see.
Will somebody please read it out loud for the rest of us? The card went from 7 to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood.
This is Braille.
Hey, I was wondering if you'd also get a Braille card. Braille, the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it.
Sorry, guys. I can't read this. Here, have it back.
Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small
Okay,
smirk.
that was fun. What's so important about that card?
I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero.
From Zero?
A message?
What does it say?
Suddenly, everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa, especially, looked as if he was about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand.
Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it.
Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm. His fingers glided over the tiny bumps as he spoke.
Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you, and only you, with information. I shall tell you of the function of the red, of the dead, and of the bracelet.
The red is the recognition device. It will verify your number. Beside every numbered door, you will find your bed. The dead is the deactivation device. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet. But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I am afraid this might be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you and people whom you are about to meet. You swallowed it while you were unconscious. I have no doubt by the time you read this note, the bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine. In other words, you will be unable to regurgitate it. I suggest you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse, or timer, for God in your body. There is only one condition which will cause it to detonate. That condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be. You will have 81 seconds. If, after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body, instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever at its side, and the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify their number at the red will find themselves unable to verify their number at the dead. That is to say, if you should pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red, in 81 seconds, you will be dead.
Okay. Alright, that makes sense.
You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed. So long as the doors open, the dead will not function. You would do well to remember this. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0.
Okay.
In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or it detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. There is no other way to remove your bracelet. If you attempt to force it off or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode.
This is all the information which I can impart to you. How you choose to use it is for you to decide. If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger to you. For a time, you would be able to control your fate. I wish you the best of luck.
Well, alright then. Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket. Yeah, you can cut your hand off. That's definitely another way that you can do it. Or, I mean, there's ways that you can trick your heart rate into being 0, but I don't think they have access to those methods here. So, you know.
So it's saying only those who verify their numbers at the red can pass through the numbered doors. Teams can't add or subtract people after they're scanned in. The reds, deads, and bracelets enforce the rules. They're judge, jury, and executioner.
Shit! A fucking bomb! Come out! Come out, damn it!
In defiance of Zero's suggestions, both Santa and Seven put fingers down their throats and began to gag. The rest stiffened. Some touched their stomachs. Some simply stared at their bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach.
There's a bomb inside me.
Yup. The thought of it made him queasy. His stomach felt oddly hollow, and his legs were weak. Well, now we know what was flipping in his stomach earlier.
What made Zero think creating this horror show of a game was a good idea?
The ratings board? Junpei looked over at the others.
All right. I'm gonna ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero?
They were all silent, each person waiting to hear what the others would say. Finally, Santa spoke.
Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed. I didn't see his face, though. Son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask.
Yep.
What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something. You know, like surprise or something?
Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence, and then everyone spoke at
I
once.
saw that too.
I did as well.
Me too. I didn't see inside the mask, though. That mask, it was really scary.
Huh?
Oh, so all of our abductions were the same. We were taken from home at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had a mask on. There was white smoke, and then each of us passed out. We woke up to find ourselves on D-deck, in a room with a 3-level bunk bed.
How about you, Seven? Did the same happen to you?
Only Seven's story seemed to lack the detail of the others.
Oh, me? Yeah, well, mine was just like the rest of yours.
That was all he had to say. It occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded somewhat strange, but he didn't press the issue.
Okay, that's good enough for now.
He hadn't done so, because there was something that struck him as even stranger.
So, I have a question.
That was the mystery of the relationship between Snake and Clover.
Snake and Clover, you were both kidnapped from the same room, and you woke up together.
Junpei looked at them thoughtfully.
So, what's the deal with the two of you anyway?
It was Clover that answered. Clearly, she felt she had nothing to hide.
We're siblings.
Really? Okay. Sure. Okay.
Siblings?
Yes. Snake is my older brother, obviously. That means I'm his little sister.
Don't quite see it, but alright.
Really so hard to understand?
A little bit. Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised.
She is correct, of course.
He laid his hand on Clover's shoulder.
Are you, surprised?
Well, yeah, but...
Why? There are other people here with connections to one another. Those two, for instance.
Snake pointed at Junpei and June.
Oh, you mean between Junpei and me?
Stop calling me that.
Ah, yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you?
Wait, you went to school together?
What the fuck do you think that means, Lotus?
Yeah?
June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with the sudden attention.
Well, yeah.
Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible.
Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way?
Yeah, you're right. You connect the dots between the victims, and that leads you to the perp. Textbook stuff.
Junpei, June, does any of this ring a bell?
No.
Huh, ring a bell.
Ring a bell?
No, that's a different game. We're not playing Bravely Default. They looked at one another, and like it was staged, they both tilted their neck at the same time.
Well, perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire.
Don't think so.
Son?
Well, someone bought this boat and set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich.
Well, we can't be sure of that. To me, this seems as though it's the work of an organization, not an individual. Most likely, Zero is simply the representative of a larger group.
What sort of organization?
It could be a number of things. An army, perhaps, or a research group. Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment.
If it is, then it's a pretty fucked up experiment. I mean, come on! A guy's dead!
The word dead hung in the air, heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again.
I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's gotta be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this. If this was all one guy, then he's got some serious issues.
Oh boy. Even with the specter of death hanging over them, their discussions continued for some time. Alright, and I think that's going to be a good stopping point here for today's episode. According to these absent facts, so I don't really know strictly what I just did, but I hope you enjoyed what we just saw, and tune in for the next episode of 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. See you all next time. Bye, everyone.